Welcome to Crimes Beyond Borders, where we'll bring you the most thrilling true crime stories every single day. If you're fascinated by mystery, intrigue, and the darker side of human nature, you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us as we unravel the most shocking and perplexing criminal cases from around the world. The story is about to begin after this intro.
From city streets to far off lands, mystery slipping through our hands. Crimes beyond borders they speak, voices strong but words are meek. Every story leaves a mark, whispers softly in the dark.
Our stories at first are made for ourselves, to comfort us, to help us sleep, and to learn. Along the way, they become a part of our journey, teaching us English and fueling our passion for true crime. So, listen carefully, and if you're about to sleep, close your eyes. Let's begin.
The Sodder Children Disappearance, A Haunting Mystery, 19, Introduction. On Christmas Eve 1945, a devastating fire destroyed the Sodder family home in Fayetteville, West Virginia. George and Jenny Sodder, along with 9 of their 10 children, were in the house that night. 5 of the children were believed to have perished in the blaze, but no remains were ever found. Over the years, strange clues, sightings, and unanswered questions led the Sodders to believe their children were still alive and had been abducted. The Sodder Children's Disappearance is one of the most baffling and heartbreaking unsolved mysteries in American history. This deep dive explores the events of that night, the evidence, and the theories that have captivated investigators and the public for decades. The Sodder family, parents George Sodder, a hardworking businessman, and Jenny Cipriani Sodder were Italian immigrants who built a successful life in West Virginia. They were well respected in the community. The children. The Sodders had 10 children. Maurice, 14, Martha, 12, Louis, 9, Jenny, 8, Betty, 5. The children believed to have perished. John, 23, George Jr., 16, Marion, 17, Sylvia, 3, and Joe, who was away serving in the military at the time. The fire. December 24 to 25th, 1945. Timeline of events. 1. Evening, December 24. The family celebrated Christmas Eve. Marion, the eldest daughter, had bought toys for her younger siblings as a surprise. The younger children stayed up playing with them. Jenny sent the children to bed while George, Jenny, and their eldest sons went to sleep. 2. Late night, around 1 a.m., Jenny Sodder woke up to the sound of something hitting the roof and rolling off, followed by the smell of smoke. She found the house engulfed in flames, originating from George's office near the front of the house. 3. Escape. George, Jenny, and 4 of the children, Marion, Sylvia, John, and George Jr., escaped the blaze. The remaining 5 children, who had been sleeping upstairs, were believed to have been trapped. The investigation. Initial observations. No remains found. Despite the fire's intensity, no human bones or remains were ever discovered in the rubble. Experts later stated that even intense fires do not completely cremate bones. The ladder. The family's ladder, which George intended to use to rescue the children, was mysteriously missing from its usual spot. Tampered vehicles. George's trucks, which he tried to use to reach the upper windows, wouldn't start, despite functioning the previous day. Cut phone line. The family's phone line had been cut, though initial reports claimed it had burned in the fire. Quick conclusion. The local fire department, understaffed due to the holiday, arrived hours later. After a cursory investigation, officials declared the fire was caused by faulty wiring and that the children had perished in the flames. The case was quickly closed. Strange clues and evidence. 1. The smell and sound on the roof. Jenny recalled hearing a thud and rolling sound shortly before the fire started. Some believe it could have been a firebomb or incendiary device. 2. No evidence of burned bodies. A crematorium operator later told Jenny that bones remain even after bodies are burned at high temperatures for hours. 3. Sightings of the children. A woman claimed she saw the children peering from a passing car during the fire. Another woman at a Charleston hotel reported seeing the children with 2 men and 2 women of Italian descent. The children appeared frightened. 4. Postcard and photograph. In 1949, George Sodder found a postcard in the rubble addressed to him with cryptic writing. In 1968, Jenny received a photograph of a man resembling their son Louis with the words Louis Sodder and cryptic phrases written on the back. 5. The billboard. The Sodders erected a large billboard along Route 16 near their home, displaying photos of the missing children and offering a reward for information. It remained there until Jenny's death in 1989. Theories. 1. Abduction. The Sodders believed the fire was a cover-up for the abduction of their children, potentially as part of a human trafficking ring or personal vendetta. Motive. George was outspoken against Italian dictator Benito Mussolini, angering some in the local Italian-American community. Supporting clues: sightings of the children. The missing ladder, tampered trucks, and cut phone lines suggest premeditation. And 2. The mafia. Some theorists suggest the mafia targeted George due to his refusal to join criminal networks or pay protection money. The children may have been kidnapped as leverage or revenge. Supporting clues: George received threats prior to the fire, including a man warning that his house would burn and his children would be taken. 3. Accidental death. Skeptics argue that the children perished in the fire and their remains were simply destroyed or overlooked in the chaotic investigation. Counterpoints: lack of bones or other physical evidence challenges this explanation. The fire was not intense enough to completely destroy 5 bodies. 4. Insurance fraud. Some have speculated that the fire was staged for financial reasons, though this theory has little evidence and conflicts with the Sodders' tireless efforts to find their children. The Sodder family's efforts. George and Jenny Sodder dedicated their lives to uncovering the truth. Private investigations. They hired detectives and pursued leads across the country. Exhumation. In 1949, they excavated the fire site and found no human remains, but did uncover a piece of what appeared to be a human vertebra. Later analysis concluded it was unrelated to the fire. The legacy. The Sodder Children's Disappearance remains an enduring mystery. The case highlights flaws in early investigative practices and continues to intrigue true crime enthusiasts and researchers. Unanswered questions. 1. Why were no human remains found in the fire? 2. Who cut the phone line and tampered with the trucks? 3. Were the children abducted, and if so, by whom? 4. What was the motive behind the fire? Conclusion. The Sodder Children's Disappearance is a haunting tale of tragedy, mystery, and resilience. Whether the children perished in the fire or were abducted, their story underscores the pain of unanswered questions and the lengths a family will go to seek justice. Over 75 years later, the case remains unsolved, and the truth about what happened on that fateful Christmas Eve may never be fully known.
The story has come to an end, but stay relaxed. If you feel yourself drifting off to sleep, just let the video play and enjoy the soothing music in the background. Let it guide you gently into rest. We'll be here, bringing you more stories every night. Sleep well, and see you tomorrow at 8 p.m.